Good morning, everybody. If you care about making more money, creating more freedom in your life, and feeling less overwhelmed, you are in the right place. Today, I'm going to show you 3 simple systems that you can set up today that will give you that ultimate freedom in your life and allow you to do the things that you want to do while achieving the goals that you want to achieve. If you're new to this channel, my name is Justin Konikow. This is the channel where I profile everything that helped us get to where we are today. Where is that? We own a real estate brokerage with a team of 28 in Southwestern Ontario. We are one of the global ambassadors for Ryan Serhant out of 13,000 agents globally. We are partnered with the Ferry and the McGillivray organization. I have spent time on stage with all of those people amidst some other incredible folks, and I actually bring them live on the podcast here so you can drill into their brains and what helped them achieve what they're achieving. And really, it's just an ecosystem of driven people. So if you are driven, hit that subscription button and hang out. Also, jump in the comments. I see a ton of people already here. Olivier Maurice is here all the way from Quebec, amazing commercial real estate agent. I see Sheila Santini. You are here on a weekly basis, and I appreciate the support. And one of my favorite people on the planet, Ramon Ray. He actually got me on stage with Seth Godin, and I got to ask a question to one of my heroes. Seth's book is actually right behind me, right there. And I appreciate you so much for that. I see Dora Marie as well. Tara is here as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're new to the Prime Nation, I am so happy you're here. I don't sell anything. I don't coach. I'm not going to recruit you. Prime doesn't even recruit at all. We're not a real estate brokerage that cares about agent count or office count. We care about doing incredible high quality work. So today I'm going to break down 3 essential systems that you need in your business. And then I'm going to share this replay and some slides with you at the end. So if you're in business, I don't care about what type of business you're in. You're in marketing and sales to some degree, right? And I think where people go wrong in setting up a new business is they focus so much on the brand, the logo, say you're setting up a new restaurant, making sure the food's perfect and all those things, and they all matter. But ultimately, if you don't have a system for growth in that business, you're going to open the doors of that restaurant. Nobody's going to show up, and you're going to wonder why. I know this because Prime deals with a lot of commercial real estate, and when the restaurants don't succeed, they call us. Fun fact about Justin, I spent 10 years in the hospitality industry, and when we were growing our restaurants, it was guerrilla warfare. Like my job was to go in and rebrand failing restaurants. They would give me a restaurant that had issues with the public perception. And here's an example. There was one that there was some drug use and some stuff going on in there, dealers and music. And it just had a weird, really bad vibe. What did we do? We spent 6 months playing country music and driving the bad crowd out of that restaurant. We partnered with the local school organization, started helping getting people in there that we wanted in there, and really completely shifted the perception of what that place was. There was another restaurant, pizza spot, and the food was insane. It was so good. But for some reason, people just weren't showing up. What did we do? We realized that it was across the street from a train track. And one day we decided at 5 o'clock, when we knew the train was coming, to have 20 pizzas ready. We cut the pizzas into tiny slices, ran up and down the street, handing out free pizza, $5 off coupons. We were packed after that. Why am I telling you these stories? It was the strategy and plan that we put in place to execute that helped us achieve those turnarounds. Now, I wish I knew what I knew now then, because the way I could systemize it is very different than I would have back then. Back then, it was literally me just running up and down the street with free pizza. Imagine that. Today, it would be this formula. So 3 things I want you to write down, and then I'm going to dig into each of them. First one is project management. You need to have something to help you organize everything that you're trying to accomplish. And I'm going to give you 2 versions of that when we dig into it. One, if you have absolutely no money and no team. And one, if you have a gigantic organization, so you're not being taken advantage of. The second thing you need is you need a CRM. What that essentially means is you just need something to organize your pipeline and everybody that you're going to be doing business with. And I'll dig into that. I love CRMs. They can be a game changer, and they can actually help you sell your business for millions of dollars more than you could if you didn't have one. The third thing is you need a marketing plan. You need to actually have a strategy on how you're going to go out and acquire customers. And then you're going to bring them through those first 2 systems to help you organize how you do things. So let's talk about project management first. Project management is simply grabbing a piece of paper. Literally, here's the free version. And you can literally write urgent this week, someday, 3 lists, and you can mind dump everything that you have to do into those 3 columns. And then once you have it organized, you can really start prioritizing which ones track to your vision and your ambitions for your business. I've done entire other segments on this channel about mapping that out, right? Goal setting and just really doing that soul searching to figure out who you are, what you want to do, and what levels you want to achieve. But let's just pretend you're Justin, right? And my goal is to grow this YouTube channel massively and inspire other people so they see God in me. Well, I may want to say in a year, I want to achieve 100,000 subscribers. When if I reverse engineer that, what does that mean? I have to do a weekly video. What does YouTube care about right now? It cares about watch time. So I'm going to go live on Breakfast with Champions every Friday. I'm going to do Prime People every Thursday, 1 to 2, consistently over that year, over that 52 weeks to build an audience of people that want to achieve what I want to achieve. Google's going to see that and go find more of those people over time. I do that consistently enough. We're going to get there. But let's take that one layer deeper. Now I need to organize these episodes, right? What am I going to talk about today? I'm going to talk about 3 systems. What 3 systems am I going to break down? I need to organize that somewhere so I have a little bit of structure so it's not too overwhelming. And the cool thing about getting into project management, and this is when you start getting into the software side, the efficiency it can provide you is insane. Because say I create a template on how I do this show, right? I introduce myself. I made sure people that don't know who I am, give them a little bit of background, a reason why they may want to be here. I can actually template that into a checklist, deliver the content and the value, give you a free resource at the end. I'll go back to it in a second. And I can make sure that I do it the same way every time because the system helps me do the things that I couldn't possibly remember on my own. Another example, Prime Real Estate, my YouTube channel where we generate 300 to 400 organic leads off YouTube on not a massive channel yearly. We do neighborhood tour videos. And those neighborhood tour videos are pretty simple. It's taking an area, looking at the points of interest, looking at the history of the area, figuring out what there is to do, talking about the values of the home, so on and so forth. Now, once I have that templated, this is where it gets really cool is say you end up in a position where you're so busy with work that you can't do all the research yourself. If you've templated that in your project management software or even in a notepad of this is how I do this thing, I can hand it over to Yan and we can start collaborating and working together on that. And project management softwares, when you really get into them, they allow collaboration at a higher level than you can possibly imagine. And the most powerful thing about project management softwares when you get to that level is it reduces communication. So I have a team, I have a transaction manager, I have a marketing communications manager, I have an air traffic controller. All 3 of them are doing things to help me organize all aspects of my business, right? We have a real estate brokerage, we have a production company, we have a team underneath that team, we have people underneath those people. The project management software allows me to go into my inbox daily and see all the tasks that are being done across all those divisions without messaging those people. And this is where the rubber really meets the road with project management. If you can do something to reduce communication and interruption in your organization's day, the efficiency of the people that are working within the organization skyrockets because you all know the vision, you know what has to get done. It's all in your calendar. Everybody knows what they're responsible for, but simply being able to scroll through a list of, oh, RR did that and Laura did that and Kyle did that. It prevents me from texting Kyle in the middle of my day and interrupting his day and saying, hey, Kyle, did you get back to that builder? Did you launch that development? Like it allows me to focus on what I need to focus on. So I am going to share 3 tools that you guys can use today. I'll give you the free one first, and then I'll tell you the ones that I use. So Trello, this one right here would be your free tool. And for the audio listeners, it's Trello. Fun fact, we have the Prime People podcast as well too, which is on the audio platform. You can join that whenever you want. But this is a really simple way of explaining how Trello works. It works off cards and lists, right? We use Trello for a very long time. Vogue uses it as well. And I would say less is more. Don't start getting into all the customizations and getting paralysis by analysis of trying to learn the software. Just keep it really simple. Use it as a digital brain first to organize your thoughts and then go from there. Notion is getting a ton of traction right now. I know that this is really good for setting up a combination of, say, a CRM, lead capture, and customer management system. I haven't used it myself, so I can't speak to it. Asana is what we actually use right now. Incredibly powerful software, and I absolutely love it. If you guys want access to these and you want the replay of this, you can go to justinkonikow.com/resources and then just join that mailing list. Actually, it's the only thing that I would ask for on this channel is if you want to connect with me directly. I respond to these emails. Feel free to just go to justinkonikow.com/resources. Tell me one takeaway from this episode or jump in the comments and let me know as well. But I want to keep this super, super efficient. Second system that you definitely need in your business is a CRM, customer relationship management. This is your pipeline, right? Simply put, it's your entire world organized. So project management is what are the projects that we need to accomplish. Your CRM is who do you know and where do they exist in your universe? And I'm going to keep it really simple. People get overwhelmed when it comes to project management. The most key important things you need to think about: name, phone number, email, tags. Say it again: name, phone number, email, tags. Why that's really important is if I decide to leave the CRM that I'm using today and go to another one, I can export my database, and the tags allow me to sort my entire database depending on who they are in my world. Ramon Ray, he would definitely be in my sphere of influence. And that just means that he's a friend. I may have past clients in that same bucket. I may have people that are active clients right now, and I can sort and organize them based on tags. So if I need to say, who are my active clients right now and where are they in my pipeline, I can work on just them. If I want to call all of my best friends, I can pull my sphere of influence and be like, man, I haven't called Ramon in 120 days. I'm just going to call him and say hi. A CRM and these systems don't mean that it dehumanizes you. I would argue it actually makes you more human. I have my mentors in my CRM to make sure that I'm calling them on a quarterly basis or making them laugh or making a human connection or helping them do what they do. I just hooked Ryan Serhant up with Matt Campanelli, Price to Sell podcast, two guys that I get no benefit from that, but by doing something for somebody else and showing people that you are who you say you are, that's how you really develop a reputation in the long run. Now let's get to the business side of it. CRMs are also insanely powerful if you do this one thing: set up your stages and your pipelines, right? So understand, in the real estate world, for example, people are thinking of selling. Then maybe you need to set an appointment with them. Maybe you need to meet them and actually go do the appointment. Then you need to actually start working with them. So you hire me to go find you an amazing lakefront property in Grand Bend, or you hire me to go find you an agent in the UK. Like we just did on Breakfast with Champions last week. We did a 14 unit investment portfolio referral to the UK off Clubhouse. Imagine that. But that exists now in my CRM, and I can see that that deal is tagged as pending and this is where it's going, so that I can follow up on the promise that I made to that person, right? That is the most important reason you want to use a CRM. Is you're a human being. I don't care if you have one client or a billion clients. If you don't have a system for fulfilling the promises that you make the people that you're doing business with, you have a system. Your system is just not having a system. So I'm hoping to encourage you with this episode to say, all right, project management again, let's talk about high level. What do I want to accomplish in business? CRM, now I'm going to get a little bit more tactical on the individuals that I'm working with, make sure that I understand where they're at in the cycle of my world. And that could be the sales cycle, or that could just be your ecosystem. And then make sure you're following up with them on a regular basis. I could do an entire other segment digging into the tactics of CRMs. So once I have all of that set up, setting up action plans so that I'm doing things the exact way that they should be done. So, say I'm launching a private session to talk about CRMs and I've got 1,000 people in my database that are interested in this channel. You'll probably want to sit down with me and see what that's like. I can structure an action plan to send you an email blast saying, hey, everybody, I'm going to be doing a session next month for an hour. If you're interested in that, let me know. Then I can set another task to follow up with you a week after that. Then I can set another task to actually set up the StreamYard link. And then I can set up another task to share the social posts. And the action plans allow me to really deliver a high level caliber of service. What I will tell you is you can go deep with this. Do not get overwhelmed and create a million different action plans. I made that mistake and we're actually going back and deleting them all. I would say start with a Google document, create an SOP. Once you actually approve that SOP, standard operating procedure of this is how I do this thing, then turn that into an action plan. And then when you activate that, it's more of just a reminder, right? If I'm selling your house, did I put a lockbox out? Did I get a sign installed? I sold your house. Did I take the sign down? Like all of the little things. It's like a quality control mechanism. A lot of times you're naturally going to do all the things that are already in that checklist, but here's the magic. Once you have more money than time and you need to delegate this, you're not reinventing the wheel. And your database, if your data is clean, if you have everybody tagged and organized correctly, and you have all of your action plans and your SOPs in there, and you have a document that you can export, that's the difference between selling your business for $2 million and $15 million. You can go check out the Prime People episode with Buck Wise I did on this channel. They do large marketing company acquisitions. Ramon Ray would know this. Some of the largest companies on the planet do massive acquisitions. And he talked about in that episode how They were doing a multi-million-dollar transaction, and they went into this company that had created a website that was really good at click-through rates and getting emails and building lists. But when they actually looked at the CRM and the data, it was dirty and the company was worthless. So do this from the start. High level CRM, pick one. I use Follow Up Boss. That's one that I use. A lot of people use Salesforce. I find it's very, very complex. There's Keep, there's 1,000 other platforms. Your homework for the next week is to just go pick one platform. Pick a project management platform. I gave you a couple suggestions. Pick a CRM, sign up for the free account, and then let me know what it is. You can come back to this channel, or you can email me on my email list or DM me on Instagram. I genuinely want to know what you're choosing. And if you have any questions on how to use them, I have videos on this channel. I will even find them for you. Just shoot me a message and I will tell you which video to watch to help you set it up. The third thing that you need, so now you have a system to organize your business. Now you have a system to organize your people. Now you need people, right? You need a marketing plan. And I'm going to give you an organic and I'm going to give you a paid plan that you can execute today, even if you only have $10 a month for your marketing budget. The reason I'm doing this last is I did that first in the past. I got to a place where I had so much business coming in. It almost took me years to go back around and reorganize it. And I'm still in it, right? Everybody, yeah. Olivier Maurice, actually, he said that's his challenge, cleaning and tagging contacts. Quick answer for this, 30 minutes a day, right? If you spend 30 minutes a day planning your business, so in your project management software, you spend 30 minutes a day in your CRM, and you spend 30 minutes a day learning something new, you're going to accomplish more than 99% of people out there. I promise you that. So Olivier, go on your database, try and see how many contacts you can clean out in 30 minutes and then tag me. I want to know. Tara Murney asked me what camera I'm using. I'm using a EOS R5. So a Canon R5. It's a fancy camera, but I love photography. I would recommend you don't even need this. MacBook Pro face cameras are amazing these days, and iPhones, you can actually link them to your computers, have even better quality in a lot of DSLRs, but I digress. So let's talk marketing plan. You need people in your pipeline, right? If you want to do it organically, here's a very simple strategy for anybody. No excuses, right? Go into Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. Pick one of those three. And then go into that account, and let's just pretend we're going to Instagram. And I'll let Instagram do the work for me because it's a multi-billion-dollar platform. So that's already one of my clients. That's somebody I referred to another client. That's one of my clients. That's a client. That's a commercial real estate agent, Jeff Margolis. Really, really nice guy. Olivier, if you don't know him, you should know him. I could tap on his profile and I could send him a message. Everybody's sick. Oh man, I know the life. I definitely do know the life. My little girl is sick. So I send him that message. What I can do now is I can go into my CRM and I can add in Jeff Margolis, commercial real estate agent in a territory. His stage would be professional network because he's not a client. And then I would just probably touch base with him every quarter, just see how he's doing. And then I can do it to another person. I can do that 5 times, and I've added 5 people to my database for free off Instagram. And the more I interact with people on Instagram, the more Instagram is going to know who I like to interact with. If he messages me back, it's going to signal to Instagram that we're actually friends. And then now I have a multi-billion-dollar company that's going out and finding me more people. You can do the same thing on LinkedIn. I did a Prime People podcast with Judy Fox, one of the aforementioned leaders on LinkedIn when it comes to strategy and marketing. And she literally said, create a spreadsheet with the 20 people that you want to know on LinkedIn and just start interacting with them. So you can find thousands of people for free online. And I'm not talking like cold leads. I'm talking people that you know or people that you want to know, but are you doing the work to do it? So I would say my prospecting or my finder time is one of my most critical things that I do in my business. And I'm still doing it to this day. And it costs me $0. It does cost me time. And I know what my dollar per hour value is. And it's still incredibly valuable for me to do that personal reach out and be building my network. If you want a paid organic marketing strategy, what I would say is $10 a month. Learn how to do a Facebook ad or a Google ad, right? I would start with Facebook because it's probably simpler for you to understand. The ads platform seems very, very confusing. It's really not. And digital marketing companies take massive advantage of large companies because they just don't understand how to use them. Here's a super secret tip. Facebook is actually changing how they're doing their ads over the next month. So by January 1, 2023, I believe the change is happening end of November. Somebody can check that and correct me on it. You're not going to be able to target specific audiences like you were previously. So a strategy that I used to use was if I launched a luxury property in London, Ontario, I could actually take every single email I had tagged in my database as a luxury purchaser in London, upload that as a custom audience, and then target that custom audience. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. So you don't even have to get crazy about the targeting the custom audiences thing. I want you to get really good at just how to use 3 ad strategies. What I would say is you want to use $7 out of the 10 as a brand awareness. So put out one piece of content that answers questions that your audience may have. If I own a eavesdrop company, why do I need an eavesdrop? How do eavesdrops work? How do people price eavesdrops? How can I save money on eavesdrops? I can do 1,000 pieces of content, just one a month, and you run a $10 brand awareness ad that leads back to your actually company's Facebook page. Then I would run a $20 ad, just lead generating. So there's another type of ad you can learn to do for free on YouTube and do a lead gen ad for people that need eavesdrops, and you're going to mess around with targeting different areas and so on and so forth. It's really simple. But if you tap that lead gen ad into your CRM, now you're building a database. It's a albeit colder audience, but people that now you can pick up the phone and call and start prospecting for business. And it's literally $7 a month. You're going to actually generate some ads. When you see it's working, you can ramp it up or ramp it down depending on your budget. And then the the $10 that's left over, the $1 that's left over from your $10 essentially would be a retargeting ad. So I would basically tell Facebook, can you go find more people like the ones that are interested in my page? So the 70-20-10 strategy essentially helps you build brand awareness, helps you generate leads, and then helps you retarget. Now, I want to say something. In the beginning, I actually switched it. It was 70% lead generation, 20% brand awareness, 10% retargeting. But that's really because I needed business in my pipeline ASAP. So if you need business ASAP, I'd say 70% lead gen, 20% brand awareness, and 10% retargeting. But it's really whatever the flavor of the week is for you. The last tip I'm going to give you in terms of a marketing strategy, this one is more on the organic side, but kind of goes into the paid depending on how you're going to do it, is your content strategy. Let's go back to what I told you about the eavesdrop company and answering one question a month about why you might need eavesdrops. I would say start your content strategy as simple as possible. Pick one platform that you're going to work on consistently and put out content to start building a new skill. Just like if I go work out and I decide to do pull-ups or handstands for the first time, I'm not going to hit a 60-second handstand. I'm going to start literally just working my wrists and kind of warming up and working into it. Same thing with the content strategy. This channel has an insane amount of content around how to build that content strategy and how to execute it, but it starts with a pillar piece of content. So here's an example. Prime real estate brokerage, my market updates on a monthly basis. I give everybody on that channel an idea of what my thoughts are as to the interest rate hikes, what's happening in the market, what are we seeing boots on the ground, and I'm very honest and transparent about it. I also give people off-market properties and some other things there. But that pillar piece of content, I can now take, and I can take quotes out of that pillar piece of content, and now I have tweets that I can share. And then I can take photos of those tweets, and now I have images that I can share on Instagram. And then I can take all of those tweets, and I can take my camera, and I can take each tweet, and I can just do a piece of short form content expanding on my thoughts on that tweet. I can do 25 to 50 pieces of content from that one piece of pillar content, but it starts with the pillar piece of content. So your challenge over the next week is to pick a project management software. If you've already picked one, jump in the comments and let me know what it is. I want you to pick a CRM, and I want you to jump in the comments, let me know what it is. And I want you to pick a platform and commit to a content strategy. And I would say start with a newsletter. If you're scared of video and all that stuff, just start with a newsletter that is going to be consistently something that you do every single month. And I promise you, it will lead to more things. This channel was built for me a decade ago when I was looking for these answers and nobody would tell them to me. So I had to go figure them out. The people that I bring on this channel have had a huge part in helping me get to where I am today. These systems don't make me less of a human being or make me a robot or, create structure that take away my joy. These systems allow me to accomplish in one day what people usually take a week to do and still leave me time to play with my daughter, go fly fishing, and do the things that I want to do. The biggest misconception about me is I am so busy that I don't have time to live my life. I would argue that these systems and the discipline that it's allowed me to have has allowed me to have more freedom than 90% of the world. Discipline truly does equal freedom. And it feels wait list to have these systems helping me with things that used to be overwhelming. Like, have you ever felt like I got to do this, I got to do that. And oh my gosh, I left this loop open. I got to get back to this person. Like everybody's felt that. I felt that. And these are the systems that I use to get away from that. And then if you work the systems, everything else becomes easier. I can dig into that another day. I can show you how I actually work the system. I had a bunch of questions. I'll jump in the comments after and get back to them. For now, I got to land the plane on this segment. I appreciate you all for being part of the Prime Nation. Again, if you want to get the insiders, you want the content creation guides, time blocking, you want my free PDFs, I have nothing to sell you. Just go to justinkonikow.com/resources. And the biggest way that you can thank me for anything that I've ever given you is hit that subscription button. And I appreciate you all so much. If you want me to cover any specific topics, drop them in the comments and I will get to them. This is a channel for the people, by the people. Y'all have a great day.